Hey guys, welcome to the video. I'm going to show you how I built this three-tiered plant shelf by only using four materials. No power tools involved, no nails, no screws. It's big enough to hold 84 pot plants currently, depending on what size, obviously that'd vary. So here you can see some before and afters. The materials you will need are gravel for the foundation. I'm using 5mm recycled concrete. Any kind of construction glue, just try and make sure it's exterior grade. Some Besa blocks or cinder blocks, a shovel, and lastly, you'll need some timber planks, which will be for the shelves. As you can see, these are pretty thick to carry all the weight of all the pot plants, and I also purchased them at 3 meter lengths, which is exactly the length I required, so I don't need to make any unnecessary cuts. So the first step will be to dig out any soft topsoil and mulch in preparation for the gravel, which will be the foundation for your blocks to sit on. The hole you dig should be a little bit wider and longer than your block's first row. In my case, I'm joining one double block and one single block together. If you're building a smaller shelf, then you may only need to dig enough space for one block. Try to keep the gravel as level as possible and in line with the ground level. You don't want to raise the level higher above ground level as it will make everything less stable. Compact the ground with your feet, and if you're building this on a deck or concrete, then you won't even need to use any gravel at all. It's really important to keep the gravel as flat and level as possible. Because you're building the blocks on top of the gravel, if your first row doesn't sit plumb, then every layer on top of that will be more uneven, causing your shelves to also be uneven. You can use a spirit level if you have one. If not, you just gotta keep moving the gravel around until you eyeball it as level as possible. So now we're at the third step where we're just gonna start gluing the blocks together. Your first row, you want to have a double block in the front, glued to a single block behind. This is how I'm building it. Again, if you're all doing a smaller shelf, you may only need one block. I'm doing a larger shelf, so I'm going to be doing one and a half. Well, one double and one single. So here's a better angle of the glue. So once your first blocks are down and glued together, you're gluing a row all around the top, and then you put your next layer or course of blocks on top of that. Now you want to keep them staggered. So as you can see, I've got a double brick in the front and a single in the back. Second row, I'm going to put the double in the back, and then I'm going to glue a single in the front. You stagger it, that way it keeps it more stable and sturdy and balanced. Make sure you don't forget, like I've done here, to glue the sides as well as the bottom. You want to increase the strength that it has, the bond together. So I've just done four little circles. It creates a little bit of a air vacuum once you push them together. So here I'm just gluing down my fourth layer of blocks. This is only going to be one block placed in the black because the front section will be where my first tier shelf will go. Then I'll be going two blocks up, second tier shelf, another two single blocks, and that will be the top. You need to figure out before you start any of this how tall you want your structure, how many shelves you want, and how wide your structure will be. I'm quite tall, I'm 6'3", so I'm making this shelf quite tall. At the end, you'll see it's about 6 foot high. Right now, I'm just starting to glue down my final two blocks that are going in this column. So these are going to be two single blocks and they'll be placed in the back. So now you're starting to see the shelf tiers. So at my knee height, we've got the first level, that's 3 blocks high. Then I've got 2 blocks up, second tier. Then I've got another two singles. So there's the first single, and now I'm going down the second single. And then that will be the third tier shelf right on top of that. Now your blockwork columns are all glued together and set up. The last step is to just put your timber shelf on, test the balance, test the weight, make sure it's all level, lined up. I'm sitting on it here and testing my 105 kilos. About 230 pounds, I think that is. So yeah, we're fine. This is going to hold a lot of pot plants. I decided to glue the timber to the blockwork because this is going to be a semi-permanent fixture for me. This makes the whole structure a lot more secure with wind and movement in the ground, etc. But if you are just building a small one and you want to move it in the future, or say you're in a rental property you want to move, you can easily not glue the timber down, and then once you move, you can just deconstruct the whole structure and take it with you, or move it to a different location in your property. So here is the final product. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Just to recap, 4 materials: timber, blocks, a little bit of gravel, a little bit of glue. Total cost was about 90 Australian dollars. I think that's 70 US. Took me about 3 hours to build. And yeah, as you can see, it's holding 84 pot plants quite easily and it's very sturdy. So cheers. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Give it a like, share, subscribe if you feel like it. Cheers.